People are reading fewer books than ever. Their time is swallowed by Netflix and YouTube and the likes. And why shouldn't it be? It is so easy to scroll endless Instagram reels than to flip the pages of a book. At the same time, anyone who has put together 100 pages of content and a few thousand rupees is now publishing their book with ease. It is so easy to publish your book today. Yet it is more difficult to be an author than it has ever been. Hello, Namaskar, welcome, Swagatam. You are with the Versatile Doctor. My name is Dr. Abhinav Atul. Continuing our conversation about marketing an author from the last episode, let's move beyond building your author identity. We discussed the social media, the website and all that. What's next? Now comes the harder part. Convincing readers that you are worth following. There are some things that you, the author, can do and some things that a professional PR company or a space like TLB City can do for you. Of course, much of what we discuss will have an overlap. Marketing the author and marketing a book written by the same author are interconnected. They are not mutually exclusive. They often draw from each other and support each other. Before I say my piece, let me just take a step back and put a question to you. Pay attention because this is very, very important. Think back to the last book that you have read. And now think about why of that decision to pick the book off a shelf or order it online. Again, I do keep repeating that the why is more important than the what or how. So I don't care if you are still writing your debut novel or have already published a dozen books. If you want to listen to my tips for marketing the author, we need to go to the roots, and the roots begin with why. So back again, which book did you read last? Pause this video until you have that answer ready. Ready? Now jump into the comment section and tell me your answer, the book, and why did you read it. I think most of those answers will fall under these 5 listed reasons. It may be a variation of one of these reasons or even more than one. First, you watched a movie or a series and now you want to read the source material, like the Song of Ice and Fire series or the 3 Body Problem trilogy or Dune. Or you are reading the sequel or part of a series which you have previously liked. Second, you are scrolling on Instagram and have been seeing this one book or this one author pop up on your feed constantly for weeks or months. Now you want to see what the hype is all about. Or you went to the Bookfair, met an author or looked at a huge banner or promotion poster for a particular book and want to check it out. Or you are actively looking for a book to read, your next read. Then you search on Amazon or go check out the shelves of your favorite genre in a crossword bookstore or something. You see a cover that draws you in, or you see an attractive book banner or an Amazon sponsored ad or anything. Or you know and follow an author, a person, a celebrity, probably a really famous personality, and their book is coming out. You are interested in reading their work, so you buy their book. Now, all these are normally the main reasons that guide your decision to buy a book, to read a book. However, there is a possibility that you are reading a particular book for a reason unrelated to the book or the author. Like you need to review this book for your blog, or you have promised to read this book for a favor, or you have a challenge or something. There is nothing to do there in terms of targeted marketing, so we will not talk about that. Now that we have the reasons why people choose the books to read, let us move towards how we can target our strategy to get included into one or more of those reasons so that a book that you have written finds its way into a reader's hand. First, movie adaptations or any kind of screen adaptations of books are historically known and proven to lead to a bump in book sales. It is kind of a virtuous cycle. A book that sells a lot and is liked by readers and critics tends to be picked up by studios for adaptation. And once the book is adapted, it leads to more sales, right? I'm not going to go into that arena at all. Getting picked by a studio is a big deal, and it is often a product of clever marketing combined with the book's inherent potential or quality. Coming to point number 2. Well, this is exactly what flooding the social media platforms with content related to your book does. The more posts and reels and videos there are, the better. Let me show you the example of author N.D. Testa, Nicole. She is the author of Sephora book series. The first novel, Shards of Secrecy, came out last year, and the second book is available for pre-orders right now. Now, I have been watching her make reels about this book for something like 2 years. And yes, by the sheer volume of content that she has put out for her book on Instagram, her book is now in my TBR. Can you put in the effort of this scale? There is no SOP or a textbook telling you what to do as an author that will put your name in the minds of readers. But remember, there is no text telling you what you cannot do either. So, go all in. Viewers don't remember one single viral post. They remember the author who shows up every week and every month. There is a question that might come to your mind right now. When to start marketing? The answer is as early as you can. It doesn't matter if your debut book is still in the early draft stages. If you have decided to write and publish, no one is stopping you from making your identity known to people, your future prospective readers, to stoke their anticipation. The only caveat is that you need to have something to tell. Content matters. Consistency is not just posting over and over. It is about being recognizable, being reliable, and building trust. Sharing your own journey is a good place to start, but mind you, it is not a sustainable marketing move. There are thousands of social media personalities making contents daily. You can't expect your content to not drown into this whirlpool unless you have something special, something unique to offer, something new to say. Many authors start giving writing advice or publishing advice, myself included, but that has to stand out, right? As an author, you can also connect with your local book clubs, libraries, and even schools or colleges. Offline presence makes a lot of difference, and that brings us to point number 3, your own appearance in book fairs. People go to book fairs to check books out, right? To think about reading and purchasing to a great extent, right? Now, if you are there next to your book, spending a few minutes to engage with the people, the readers, that leaves an impact. You must have seen people flocking in for famous authors to sign their copies of the book. Well, celebrated authors like that also had to start from the ground up, right? Being featured in something like Jaipur Literature Festival or even a small city fest massively boosts your credibility. Point number 4 is specifically linked to promoting a book rather than the author. We will talk about that in the next episode. The 5th reason why a reader would buy your book is purely on your merit as a personality, as a celebrity, like self-help gurus or influencers or life coaches, even actors, politicians, you name it. If you are a person with a following, you can bet people would want to read your book when you write. And it need not be a memoir, although that genre itself is a testament to the opposite direction. No matter how famous you become as a person, as a celebrity, if you write an autobiography, it can still bomb. But I digress. A prime example of what I mean by that point would be Stephen Hawking, the exemplary scientist. He was already an iconic physicist before he published A Brief History of Time. His fame and compelling personal story helped his book achieve extraordinary success. And this is not meant in any way to demean the book's own merit. But the author's established fame provided the launchpad, the basis for that book to soar quicker and higher than it would have if the world didn't know who Stephen Hawking was. Think about the book Cracking the Code, My Journey in Bollywood, written by Ayushmann Khurrana and Tahira Kashyap. For this book to have any kind of traction in the literary world at all, Ayushmann Khurrana needed to be the successful and acclaimed actor that he is today. According to an article in The Guardian in 2023, 5 of the 20 best-selling titles, best-selling fiction books were written by celebrities. Get an idea? But let us get back to the regular folk like you and me. What I want to say is that marketing an author is a thing. If readers know you, then they will follow you from one book to another. As an individual, you can do a lot of things which are essential as well as helpful in marketing your brand, your identity. Then you need a platform to go further. Offline presence is not free, right? You will also get chances to be present offline as an author in panels from college fests. They will boast of an audience numbers in the thousands. Until you can verify it, don't entertain it. Think about it. A college fest by definition is a place with limited exposure. Unless it is something like a fine arts college, you will hardly sell one book in those places with your individual presence. Now, collectively, like a dozen authors getting together and creating a stall in one of such places, well, that is a different ballgame altogether. TLB City had one such stall earlier this year, and we did sell a small number of books, and that is where the benefit of a platform comes in, a collaboration, a conglomerate comes in. It is all about connection of a reader with the author, and it is not going to happen spontaneously. Think about building a community or becoming a part of one. It can be your own website where you can start a newsletter, engage with readers, get their feedback, share updates, anything to keep people coming back to you. We want to sell our books, right? I mean, that is the goal of marketing and promotion, to sell more books. But here is what can separate you as a person and as an author from someone who only thinks about book sales. Don't look at every person thinking, will that person buy my book? If not, why waste my time? That mindset will kill your growth. Put your unwarranted ego aside. You cannot survive if you only engage with people you see as a potential customer. Build genuine connections. Make friends. Collaborate with other authors. Who better to understand your struggle as a self-published author than someone who is struggling in the same arena? Support other authors. Comment on their posts. Share their content. Celebrate their wins. Often they'll do the same for you. And even if they don't, you have built goodwill and trust, which matters far more than one book sale. Now, on the flip side, on the opposite, when someone comes to your Instagram DM and approaches you with an offer like pay me 1,000 rupees and I will promote your book, or buy this package and your sales will skyrocket, pause and think, will this expense realistically lead to book sales? Or can I invest this amount, the same amount, more wisely? One area where I urge extreme caution is paid awards and paid magazine features. Yes, spending money is part of marketing. We have talked about that a lot, but spend it wisely. Don't fall for every publicity stunt peddled in your Instagram DM. For example, there is a platform that provides digital awards and community visibility to authors. While it is surely a morale booster and a way to add a badge in your portfolio and your profile, there is no actual value to that award. So think of it as branding, not literary acclaim. Same goes for features in online magazines, e-zines, so to speak. See, making a website is easy. Making articles, writing articles, blogs and online magazines is relatively cheap. What is difficult is to find the people to actually follow those and to engage. Think about it. You know names like Times of India, Hindustan Times, India Today, Gulmohar Quarterly, Indian Literature, the journal from Sahitya Academy. And if you find a way to be featured in one of those, well, that would be amazing. But what use would a recognition by an obscure online platform which no one has heard of be to you? In fact, for the same 1,000 rupees, running a simple Amazon ad for your book will likely bring you more genuine readers than these hollow accolades. Invest where it counts. Now you may ask, when does this end? When can you stop marketing yourself? Well, technically, you should never. It is never advisable to just stop. Of course, life happens, priorities change, People change. Maybe you can reduce your appearances, reduce spending on marketing, but never cease completely. The thing is, all that I have discussed will seem daunting to anyone, let alone someone who has just begun writing their first book. This may not be fair, but unfortunately, this is the world we live in. At this time, no one should trust the Amazon bestseller ranking because we know these rankings are really manipulated. As an author, it boils down to whether you believe in your book, whether you have what it takes to connect with that one reader who will buy and read and like your book. Often what it takes is much more than just money. Do let me know in the comments, what do you think you should do in order to promote yourself as an author? Is there something that you have done or you have been doing which I have never listed, never even thought about? Or is there something in whatever I have said that you feel is wrong? Shout in the comments, and until the next video, this is Dr. Abhinav Atul signing off from TLB City. See you next time. Namaskar.